been a lot of disrespect towards Kyrie Irving. People are saying that we're hearing rumors that Brooklyn may not be interested in Kyrie Irving unless he brings on a Kevin Durant, and they may not want him to be their number one player heading into free agency and sign him for their team. Now, it makes sense for a basketball standpoint for them just to go and re-sign D'Angelo Russell, because I believe that D'Angelo Russell is a young stud. He went to the All-Star game this season. And also that he kind of fits that culture of what Brooklyn already has in place. But that does not mean that Kyrie Irving isn't better than D'Angelo Russell, because he is. Kyrie Irving has become a little bit underrated. People are talking about Kyrie Irving like he's just like a D'Angelo Russell. Don't get me wrong. D'Angelo Russell is a young, up-and-coming player, and it makes sense for the Brooklyn Nets to keep D'Angelo Russell instead of re-signing Kyrie Irving, because you're going to get D'Angelo Russell probably for a cheaper amount, and also you kind of already see what type of coach you have with D'Angelo Russell and fits with the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the disrespect comes with, like, people are saying that the Brooklyn Nets do not want Kyrie Irving unless he's bringing Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving can't be the number one player on your team. We saw what happened with the Boston Celtics. And a lot of that situation with the Boston Celtics wasn't Kyrie Irving's fault, but he took a lot of blame. But a lot of that blame goes to Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, in my opinion, because they didn't do right by Kyrie Irving. They kind of just threw Kyrie Irving and kind of plugged him in, but really didn't give Kyrie Irving the keys to the offense, the keys to the franchise, like they was kind of trying to sell him, because it was always this idea of who's going to come and basically take on the mantle from Kyrie Irving. Who are they going to trade? Are they going to trade for Kawhi Leonard? Or are they going to trade for Anthony Davis? Everybody knows that. So people that are going around saying Kyrie Irving is this and Kyrie Irving is that, Kyrie Irving is the most skillful basketball point guard to ever play the game in the history of the NBA. I'm saying it again, Kyrie Irving is the most skillful point guard to ever play the game in the history of the NBA at the point guard position. Kyrie Irving can finish amongst the trees. Kyrie Irving's handle. Kyrie Irving can shoot the ball. Kyrie Irving can pass. His court vision. There's nothing on the floor that Kyrie Irving can't do. So, for people that are underrating him, they're saying all these things about, well, you know, Kyrie Irving may not be a leader. Kyrie Irving can't be the number one player on a championship caliber team. We really didn't get a chance to necessarily see that with the Boston Celtics, because they really didn't believe in Kyrie Irving from the jump. And it's just kind of like, for people that are using that against him so that they won't have to sign him, but they're saying that we don't want you without Kevin Durant, it's nonsense. You're underrating Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is a stud. Kyrie Irving, and he's a capable defender when he wants to play defense as well. Like I said, he's the most skillful point guard ever to play in the history of the NBA. But a lot of people are getting very, very disrespectful. Kyrie Irving is not just some all-star. Kyrie Irving is a superstar. And in the right situation, he can be and excel as a number one option. But you have to build a team around him. You can't just say, here are all these parts. We're going to plug Kyrie Irving in like the Boston Celtics did. We're just going to plug Kyrie Irving in. We're going to plug Gordon Hayward in. And we're just going to go because we went to the Eastern Conference Finals without him. And it's kind of like, well, if you're building a roster, if you're building a team, and you're centering around Kyrie Irving, you need to get the correct pieces that are going to be beneficial around Kyrie Irving. So I don't really listen to everybody that's talking about the Boston Celtics situation, because I thought that was doomed from the start the minute that they put Gordon Hayward in and kind of force-feeding Gordon Hayward the ball. Doing that was kind of like a slap in the face to Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who are better players than Gordon Hayward. Even though Gordon Hayward's coming off a crazy injury, they showed enough talent and they showed enough potential the season without Gordon Hayward to show that, you know what, why are we just going to force Gordon Hayward the ball and throw him right in the offense? So that's why I don't even really listen to that, because I thought their season was going downhill once I saw that start to happen. And if people are saying that you can't build a championship team around Kyrie Irving, my thing about it is just like, the Boston Celtics didn't actually try to build around Kyrie Irving. They just plugged him in and they just say, here, we have a great team, and you're going to be the point guard, even if you're the best player on the court. It's kind of like some of the players and personnel surrounded by Kyrie Irving really didn't necessarily make too much sense. So it's like having a situation where you're Zion Williamson, you got drafted by the New Orleans Pelicans. Like, they're going to put a team around Zion. They're going to build around Zion. And so you can't expect Kyrie Irving just to come in a situation and people are just saying automatically that you can't win a championship as the number one guy, as him being the number one guy, and you don't necessarily build a team around him. So I don't really like what I'm hearing about Kyrie Irving. I think it's very tasteless. I think it's shameful. And I have all the faith in Kyrie Irving and whatever he wants to do. And I'm going to say it again. Kyrie Irving is the most skillful point guard in the history of the NBA. And people need to start putting some respect on his name.